Kilmer, the filmer. I got my first camera when I was 14 years old. And 10 years later, I found myself traveling around the country, filming some pretty cool stuff. A lot of Doogie Howser MDs are hating on the kid, because I'm taking selfies with their girlfriends. Well, tough tomatoes, Brose Canseco, because my mise-en-scène is both vicious and delicious. You are all gonna star in my new documentary entitled Let's Whoop Some Ass. Because I don't care if it's SummerSlam, WrestleMania, or your mom's 50th B-Day bash. I'm ready for the lights, I'm ready for the camera. So let's get some action.
Let's jump into this thing. Yo, Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, no.
Of course, yeah. Sorry I can't make like the video work. It's just we're literally in the middle of nowhere out here, and the internet's just so bad.
Yeah, it's no worries. We were gonna ask you to send us your favorite picture or one that you'd want, and we're gonna put it right in the middle of us, like you're here in person.
And I dabble with the filmmaking stuff a little bit too, so I was gonna have it like light up when you said something funny.
Oh shit! Hold on 1 second.
All good, baby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I lost you there for 1 sec.
Yeah, we were just saying, because he's a filmmaker as well.
I dabble.
Yeah.
I dabble just a little bit. Yeah.
Fellow filmer, hell yeah.
Fellow filmer, yeah. No, Zach was telling me a little bit about, because we follow Mike, and we watch all the podcasts, and he was telling me a little bit about you and how you're into filmmaking, and he told me, like, yo, have you directed a movie before?
Yeah, I directed my first movie about 2 years ago, and I'm actually in the middle of writing my second one right now.
Wow.
Dude, that's amazing.
That was the Primrose, right?
Primrose, yep. Mm-hmm.
Is that what is that streaming on?
We actually are in the process of getting it on Amazon Prime right now.
Okay.
I think it's going to be hopefully within the next week, it'll be on Amazon Prime for anyone to watch, and it's going to be just completely free for anyone to watch it.
All right, cool.
And before that, were you just doing like work for Mike and like freelance work, like music videos and just like random gigs?
Yeah, man. I mean, even in the early years before I was working with Mike, or even like right when I started working with him, I mean, I was doing music videos pretty full time. I'd probably worked with a couple hundred artists, you know.
Wow.
Right.
So it was mostly music videos, but I think my passion's kind of fallen a little more towards feature filmmaking on like the film side of things.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, my brother. I only started, doing this filmmaking stuff like 8 or 9 months ago. And I kind of got into it. My intentions with it was I actually had my own little battles with, I guess, like a lot of the things that you and Mike talk about, like some of like the mental health stuff. And I was kind of at a crossroads in life, and I was a former athlete. He's a former athlete.
Yeah.
And I played football, and it was taken away from me due to a back injury. And I was home, and I was kind of like, what? Like I was living in the same room with the same parents, same bed, and I was kind of like, what the fuck am I doing with myself, And then the camera presented itself, so I've been doing it for like 8 months now, and it started off as more of a passion project to just kind of get content out, kind of like this, to maybe improve people's daily lives and help people take control of their situations. And it turned out into this full-blown like love of the actual art of filmmaking. So now I'm even moving into more cinema, like more film stuff. Like tonight I have my first DOP job. It's going to be my first time on like an actual set, which I'm super excited about. So, man, roses to you, bro. Like I know your entire process, and it's inspiring, and it's very nice to speak with another, I guess, creative.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, no, and you said it right. It starts as a passion, and it starts as like something you just have fun with. I mean, I was lucky. I started getting into film when I was maybe 13 years old.
Right?
Wow.
So you had a camera in your hand at like 13?
Yeah, man. I had one of those like shitty little, I mean, they were called mini DV tapes. They're
right.
like probably like a little smaller than a cassette tape, and that's what you'd shoot on. And I'd make like jackass videos with my friends, like jumping off my roof and stuff. And
yeah.
It just started it honestly started with just like the love of fucking around with the camera.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, that's how, I mean, I was lucky because, I mean, most people don't find passions like that when they're so young. So I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah. No, I feel like just capturing moments and stuff like that is like, you know, it just gives you
that's
that.
like, it's cool, man. Like I remember like the first few things I did were like events, and I saw like the fun of like, damn, like we're here at this event and there is a certain vibe, and it's kind of my responsibility to portray that however I want. Like, I could throw on like a Latin song, I could throw on a rap track, you know what I'm saying? It's my kind of responsibility to get some of these funny moments of the party, and that's kind of that's funny. So I can definitely relate to just picking up a camera and fucking around with it, and then being like, whoa, like maybe I could do something special with this thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, are you guys familiar with our web series Touring's Boring that we did back in the day?
I mean, you guys talk about it, you know, a lot on the podcast. I haven't. I've been like looking. Is it on YouTube?
So we took it off YouTube maybe a year ago, just given like the social climate these days and the Me Too movement. Not that we did anything wrong,
right.
It was a racy series. It was you know, us in our mid-20s, kind of touring the country. And, you know, the girls, the booze, and just all the hijinks that go
That's
down
amazing.
on tour. And you know, some people could probably. These days, people could kind of misconstrue it and see it the wrong way, but you know, during the time, it was, you know, it was a glorious thing.
And, it felt right then. Yeah.
But essentially, it was just, you know, I mean, we were having the time of our lives. We were touring the country on these like big music tours, and I was, like you were saying, you know, I was the guy to kind of capture the vibe, and I guess I did it quite well, because it was a pretty popular web series, and I think it really helped our touring and got people to come out to our shows.
Yeah, for sure. What was some of like your best moments on tour while doing that? Best memories?
Man, the moments that I can share. Jeez, you know, it's funny. I actually, like 5-6 years ago, I started journaling.
Good for you.
Just about like the fucking ridiculous moments in my life, just because like, you know, I don't know. I found myself in all these fucking weird situations, you know, from, you know, moving to LA with the guys, and like, you know, all like the random celebrity run-ins, and all the shit with the girls and all the mishaps. So I just started writing about it, and you know, I'm hoping I can have the balls to like release it as a book one day, because I think it'd be highly entertaining. But, on tour, man, I mean, shit. I don't know if it's any one particular moment, but it's really just going to places like around the country that, you know, you wouldn't expect to even know anyone.
Right, like those small town colleges and.
Yeah, man. I mean, like 2 years ago on our last tour, we went to South Dakota for the first time.
Wow.
Like, I don't think I'd ever been to South Dakota in my life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sure enough, it's our first time playing a show there, and like 1,500 people show up, and like, you know, we're just fucking blown away. And then, you know, we just spend the rest of the night. There's nothing to do in South Dakota. So, like, I just went like bopping around to, like, fans' houses, just, like, drinking and stuff and partying with everyone. And, like, like, shit like that. Shit like that just makes it so much fun.
Yeah. I feel like those are more of the moments that matter, rather than, like, going to, like, the A-list celebrity party. I've heard you guys talk on the podcast about how, like, that kind of lifestyle is like, you guys almost stay away from that for a reason.
That LA vibe, you know?
Yeah, man. Like, I'd rather go to a house party in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, than you know, than some celebrities party in LA any day. You know, you just chill with fucking real ass down to earth people from Middle America, man. I mean, there's really nothing better than that.
Yeah, I felt like because I lived in California for a couple of years too. I was playing junior college football, and I felt like whenever I would meet, because like I would go to parties around like Santa Monica City, because I was the only junior college that was throwing parties, you know. And when I was there, it would be like a lot of like aspiring models and actresses and and like, yo, it would just be hard to have a conversation with people. And I'm not saying that I'm like Socrates or anything, you know, but like, you know, like bro, I just feel like I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like it's hard in this generation to find real people. So I could only just imagine what it's like going to like an old, like, I don't know, one of those crazy LA like bangers. I mean, it must be cool though.
No, dude, it's cool. I mean, like, honestly, when we were living in LA we just left, but we were there for 5-6 years, and like our house was kind of like the after party spot, you know.
The ranch.
We had like every who's who over there, you know, multiple nights a week, and it's, you know, no doubt it was fucking fun, but like, you know, a lot of people in LA, especially in the entertainment industry, just have different priorities and, different perspective on life, unfortunately. That doesn't really align with, what I like and what a lot of, the other guys like.
Right.
So that was a big reason for us leaving. And, you said it's hard to find down to earth people, but I mean, it really isn't that hard if you go to the right places.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why we connected so well with John and Mike and, all the guys, just from watching the podcast, because I feel like I've grown so much and learned so much just watching all the time. And, it opened up another avenue for me.
Yeah, he actually wasn't even podcasting. So how like this whole thing like kind of came about was probably the worst time in my life. I came across the Mod Sun episode. And I just thought that was like crazy inspirational, man. It helped me out so much. And then I think I reposted it. He watched it. He was like, yo, this is tough. And I didn't think anything of it. And then like he just kind of started like reposting. And then like a year later, like here we are sitting in this room. You're like 14 episodes in.
Yeah.
And like you guys are like a lot of the inspiration for this.
Yeah, for the podcast. It's like the exact reason, because like I would always see podcasts and on like Apple and stuff like that, and like I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and listen. But then once I saw the visual of it, seeing visual podcasts, it kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, this is super interesting, because it's cool to see people's facial expressions, their reactions when they speak and when they're talking, because it's hard to get that when you're just listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, like once he posted that, and I was like, wow, I think I can really do this. So most of my stuff is based off YNK Podcast, the vibe of it, the just like the message behind it. So that's
awesome, man. And what has podcasting done for each of you, like since you started? Have you noticed like what do you enjoy about it so far?
So for me, like my biggest thing is like, so podcasting like probably isn't like, well, it's not my main thing. Like my main thing is film, but like the beautiful thing about that is like that gives us an opportunity to shoot this with an A7S III, and have like proper microphones.
Oh damn, he's got the Mark III.
Come on, baby.
Shit.
Come on. Did you see the A1?
I got the Mark II, man. You're making me look bad.
You only have the 2?
I only have the Mark II, bro.
I flex a little bit, bro. I have that beginner's like gear whatever what is it? Addiction.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, it's like you just like whipped like a bigger dick out on the table and you're making me look
giant dick. One of the biggest. Yeah, no, the gear addiction's bad. It's not good. We don't have the shores like you guys though. We're working on that.
That's the next step, getting the shores.
Yeah. But aside from all that, man, like the main thing like for me, and I'm sure you could attest to this, but it's been like emotionally for me, what I'm finding with Instagram is like I started like filmmaking, like I said before, because I wanted to share my story and I wanted to help people like, I guess, become more aware, become more conscious of the present moment, and, dissolve past pain and past trauma. And I know like that might sound corny because I'm like this fucking 6'2", like athletic guy, that like played fucking college football, but like that's my thing, that's what I feel intuitively matters. And so for me, like I'm having a hard time on those apps helping people because I feel like I'm trying to provide people with like I'm trying to provide people heaven with hell, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it's not the platform, for inspiration, and that's why I feel like we take so much out of these podcasts and stuff like that, because we're 23 years old. Not a lot of people, I'm sure there's a bunch, but there's not a lot of people that think similar to us, and have the same ideologies and mindsets and stuff like that. So it's hard to connect with, those people like you were saying, the parties in LA. It's same stigma of, the correlation. So
right.
I don't know. I mean, for me, the podcast has just been cool to have, a bunch of people on that I've connected with in the past and to hear, see their stories. Like I've had a few of my boys, that went professional in basketball and, one in the MLB. I had Nick Barada on. He's an actor on The Oval on BET.
I know Nick, yeah.
Really?
Oh, that's dope.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think we have some mutual friends.
Yeah, he was on Divorce Court and The Oval. I'm trying to think what else he was on. But yeah, he's from our hometown. He's from Huntington. So yeah, I did episode 8 with him, which was really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah.
So I feel like it's if anything, man, like it's like I heard you hear all the time, like you want to chase, like, you know, you want to have a vocation. You know, you don't want to have a job. A job is just trading time for money. You know, a vocation is something like this, to where, like, even if you make like a little amount of money, you
enjoy it.
You enjoy it. So that's been like, for me, it's been like more emotional. You know, it's like we've just been posting like little clippets, like little sound bites, and like people you wouldn't think would hit us up and be like, hey man, like, yo, thank you guys for talking about these types of things.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, it doesn't pop. Like right now, I can get a girl in here and post some badass B-roll of her titties, you know, and we can go viral for real. Like I could do that, you know. I have,
Yeah.
but that's not my vibe. So for me, it's more just like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's today's age.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
like dude, just like TikTok culture, and like even like for Mike, like to be independent, you know, and do things his own way. And I'm sure like for you, like to produce your own movies and not, you know, I don't know, but basically sell out. Like it's not gonna get the most pop, but it's gonna mean the most. So that's been like the most enjoyable for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll tell you this. When I made my movie 2 years ago, you know, I raised all the money myself. I did a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
A lot of fans came out and supported. A lot of family came out and supported. I put a lot of my own money into it, and I spent literally 2 years of my life just grinding my dick off.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm probably not going to make a penny of this back.
Yeah.
You know, and like all the time that went into it and all the money that went into it. I kind of knew I wasn't going to make. I didn't have the mindset that I was going to make any of the money back.
Right.
And I was doing it strictly for, you know, experiential reasons.
Yeah.
And at the end of the tunnel, now that I'm out of it, and you know, 2 years have passed, and like all that work and all that time went by, I can honestly say it was one of the best experiences of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And you know, I learned more making that film than, you know, spending 4 years in college studying film. So
Right.
It just goes to show that, like, you know, if you have the right mindset and you're doing it for the right reasons, you're going to be fulfilled by the end of it.
Yeah. And honestly, man, I feel like even if things feel like you're not making a lot of money in them, but like they are a vocation, I feel like if something is a vocation, you're just automatically going to be better at it because you're going to put more into it. You're going to be more passionate about it.
Yeah.
And that in turn, you'll start seeing a return on your investment just because you're more passionate about the things you do. So like I stress to people, like, yo, like it ain't about fucking, like it ain't about finding something that's lucrative. Well, I mean, like sometimes it is, but like for the most part, I feel like it just be the best at whatever you like to do. Like, yo, if somebody tells me that they like paper mache, but there's no market for it, I'm a type of person, I'm like, yeah, there is. Like all you gotta do is be the best at it. Like if you really fucking like paper mache, do paper mache. I'll make you a video. It'll be dope, you know?
Yeah, no. Yeah, bro, you just gotta.
Well, that's the difference from being a you know, a revolutionary and a traditionalist. You know, like if you like something that no one else likes, then be a revolutionary
Right.
and make everyone else like it. You know,
Right.
like your passion. I mean, there's millions of examples, you know, where someone was a revolutionary and you know, loved something that no one else did, and then all of a sudden everyone started loving it, you know.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's okay to be a traditionalist too, you know, because
Right.
if you like something that already exists that, you know, you love doing, then you know, you can do that as well. But you're spot on, you know, as long as there's passion behind it, people are going to catch on to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, what I was going to say was just, obviously, you know, we talk about that all the time, just finding your passion and stuff like that. The money will come. And
Yeah.
I feel like, obviously, you know, John, you did that, obviously, with the filmmaking. How did you get in tune with Mike, and then you guys' idea to start the podcast and kind of start growing, you know, even filming the Touring is Boring and all that stuff? Like
Yeah, were
that?
you guys like boys from high school, or did you guys meet up after that? Like how did that come about?
No, man. I mean, we ironically, we grew up like an hour from each other. I'm from Boston originally, and he's, you know, from outside Providence,
Yeah,
Rhode Island. So
right.
we were right near each other.
Okay.
But we didn't really meet till like we were probably around you guys' age, you know, like in our young 20s.
Right.
We were both kind of right out of college, and you know, I'm sure you're familiar with his backstory, where you know he was the past athlete, and
Yeah.
he just started making music.
Yep.
I was living in New York City at the time, in
Dope.
like this shitty little apartment, trying to like,
Not dope.
work for myself. And my days kind of consisted of waking up every day and, making beats and trying to sell beats because I'm a music producer as well.
Cool.
And like recording artists for like $20 an hour, and, like, shooting little videos and stuff like that. And that was just kind of my grind for, the first year or two out of college. And, I used to go on these music blogs because there was no music streaming back then because we're really old. There was no music streaming back then.
Sell CDs.
And you would just kind of go on these music blogs and see like, what's what and who's new and, who are like the new people putting shit out. And I saw Mike Stud, sure enough. And, he had the video College Humor, which was like one of his first videos. Yep. And I watched it and I'm like, oh man, like I feel like I aligned with this guy, because at the time, I was like 23, 24,
right.
And like he has this video where he's like get all these chicks at like a college party and yada yada, and I'm like, all right, like this sounds pretty dope, and
Makes sense.
This guy parties, like, like I'm gonna hit him up, and I just shot him an email, I shot him an email and sent some beats and said, hey, I think you're dope, let's make some songs, and we made a song. It ended up being like maybe his third or fourth song he ever released, and when he needed a video for it, he came to New York City. We shot a video for it, and then the rest is history. When he started doing shows, I started coming on as his touring videographer. Yeah. And in the early years, I was kind of wore a lot of hats in his career because I could do so many things. I could engineer music, I could produce beats. So like I was just kind of like a Swiss Army knife for him starting out, and that's kind of how we got started.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
It must have felt dope, man. That's like I guess it's not an average way of life, man. Like you guys really did something special.
Yeah, man. No, I agree. And just to kind of touch on like the whole touring's boring thing. I mean, like that was honestly really huge for us. Because in a way, like, I mean, this is when YouTube culture and like YouTubers kind of started being a thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that we were YouTubers, but like,
right.
We were doing this web series, like, at least in the music industry, it was something that was special and like that was different. And a lot of people kind of recognized because, we didn't take if you haven't seen the series, I mean, like it was kind of like a little mockumentary of our tour life. And, we didn't take ourselves too seriously, but at the same time, we kind of showed all the craziness and, we literally just came into town and just fucking ransacked the city. And,
yeah.
So like, we captured it, properly and everything. So in a way, like it made the fans, connected to us, a little more closely, and it made them like kind of get to know us a little better.
Yeah.
And it kind of gave all of us an identity. So it made them want to come out to shows. It made them want to listen to the music.
Yeah.
And since we stopped doing that, the podcast has honestly kind of filled that void, in our career, mm-hmm. where it gives people, an inside look at our life and, our ideologies and who we are and,
right.
and who we are as people. So I think that's kind of filled that void. And, we can't, obviously tour right now and do concerts, but when mm-hmm. we do concerts again, I think it's going to kind of give us that edge again, where like people kind of just know us a little better, even without meeting us.
Yeah. Cause I feel like, and also this showed like a totally different side of what a lot of the fans, or people just from the outside looking in saw you guys from, the tours and parties and stuff like that. But there's a completely mm-hmm. other side to you guys. And that's kind of also what I wanted to get into. Like, how much have you grown and kind of just changed? Because I watched recently, I watched it in the past when it came out, but I watched it again, the episode with you and Mike about change and just how mm-hmm. that's the only thing that's constant in life. Everything changes every second pretty much. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, talk about like just your growth from obviously meeting Mike and to where you guys are at now, and then plans for the future and stuff like that.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the kitchen the other day about obviously like, especially Mike has gotten like a whole side of spirituality and
mm-hmm.
In his life. And
do you mess with that stuff too?
Do I mess with what?
Do you also fuck with like the spiritual stuff? Like, have you read like?
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I wouldn't say I don't really dive into it as deeply as he does. I'm not exactly meditating yet, and like,
right.
He's definitely dove a lot.
No
deeper,
one fucking meditates. People do it for like a day at a time, and they'll be like proud of themselves.
Yeah. It's hard. That's something you really got to commit to. And,
dude, it's the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I still, it's on my to-do list. It's on my
Yeah.
bucket list. I'm not writing it off yet, but at the same time, I've definitely become more, uh, I think self-awareness is like the big thing that we talk about a lot, and it's just about sitting and like reflecting on who you are and as a person and how you're thinking, and
Right.
just paying a little more attention to and being more mindful of how you think.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't do that. And how you can do that through meditation, you can do that through reading books, you can do it through so many different ways. And we were talking about it in the kitchen the other day, and I was like, do you think like our mindset has like shifted this way because we're getting older, or because we just all of a sudden decided we want to start to think this way,
Or even because of the shape of the world right now.
I think with age and experience, like
Yeah.
you start to reflect naturally, and you start to think this way in general. Not everyone, but some people. And some people do it at a younger age, and it's awesome. You guys are actually starting to have this type of mindset at such a young age. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But it's definitely if you look back, like if I look back 5 or 6 years ago, like I just wasn't thinking the same way, and I'm happy with. I can honestly say that like I wake up happier, I wake up more fulfilled.
Yeah.
Now that I have a little more self-awareness in my life. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
For me, it's been reading's definitely been a big thing. Just picking the right books, and it gets you to reflect more. And I think with filmmaking, anyways, like I love movies my entire life. One thing movies have done for me my entire life is like it's made me reflect on my own life. If you see a good movie, you kind of reflect on your own life, and you're like, oh man. Like it just makes you think about a lot of shit, and I think that's why I've loved movies so much over the years. And that's what like they've kind of done for me.
Yeah, movies and books can definitely shape you and change your perspective, like 100%.
Yeah, just like small things.
Yeah.
Like I got into Power of Now like last
Yeah.
week. I read it a year ago, and it really helped me. And then I got into it last week, again, and I was like, man, like. This is valuable information that if people could just sit down for 10 minutes a day and take this, like I'm sure like maybe people's like drama that they make up about their lives there wouldn't be so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, your mind is a complex thing, dude. And right now, I'm in the middle of reading Jay Shetty's "Think Like a Monk," which is a bestseller. It's a really popular book, and it's just about a guy who he used to actually be a monk, and he studied in a for like several years, just being a monk. And now, and I guess technically I don't know if he's technically still a monk, but he's a public speaker now, and he wrote this book, and he kind of gives you just the inside scoop on like what it was like, learning to be a monk, and like what their mindset was like, and all like the studies they learned.
Yeah.
He kind of breaks it down kind of more in layman's terms.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, like it's shit like that. Like I just, it really dives into your mindset, and like you really can be your own worst enemy, just with simply by the way you think. And if you become, aware of that and self-aware of it, you can actually work on fixing it, which is the first step, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what scares people the most a lot of the time when they get into this type of stuff is like they've been pretty ignorant to their bad habits their entire lives and their bad thought patterns. So once like you get someone to just shut up and listen to their thoughts, they become like stormed with like, that's why like I don't fucking meditate all the time.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like I'm kind of afraid to just close my eyes and let my mind take me for a spin, So it can be scary, but it's like, it really, I think, why I'm such a fan of spirituality is because I really think it's once you're aware of it, it's the only way forward, because like you can't unknow, like once you like understand, I guess, consciousness, you can't like go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, so it can be a little scary, but like if you can just wear that, like I think eventually it's all going to work out, for the greater good, and like and you'll get to a place kind of how you were explaining, like where you're at now, like you can wake up and you're truly happy. And don't get me wrong, like girls and fucking tour and alcohol and fucking like this crazy lavish lifestyle of who's who and this and that, like that's all amazing. Like that's all a lot of fun, but like real happiness is fucking waking up and sitting in a room and like just being thankful, you know, like
Yeah.
those are the moments that
Yeah,
matter.
it's the little things. I feel like it's the little things. And I mean, as John was saying, like when they were talking in the kitchen, is it as you get older you kind of just feel this way? But I just feel like it is a part of that, and just life experiences where as time goes on you kind of appreciate different things than you would have when you were 6 years younger.
Yeah, especially when something bad happens to you, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
trauma and stuff like that.
I'm sure like Mike losing Josie was like a big part of his like spiritual, you know, like I guess like reflection.
Yeah, he definitely talks about it a lot. I think that may have been like a catalyst for him wanting to kind of improve himself personally. So
yeah,
definitely for sure. Yeah.
So all you gotta do is let a girl break your heart and then be upset about it for a couple months. Yeah, and then you'll be good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, like once you come to the realization that your happiness starts and ends with you, then I mean, literally no one else can affect that. No one can take it away from you, whether it's a girl or family member or friend. Like, if you're in the fucking driver's seat, man, like literally no one can fucking do shit. And that's a powerful feeling, man. That's one of the most powerful feelings in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you guys up to now? Like you guys are in Montana. Like do you guys have a next play?
Yeah. Why was the move to Montana?
Yeah, I thought you guys were going to Nashville, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are. So we dipped out of LA because we just wanted to especially during COVID now, dude. LA is just kind of a shit show.
Yeah. Whack, right?
It's maybe one of the worst places to live, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons, but so we just wanted to get out of there. We went to Arizona in Scottsdale for a couple months.
Live with Johnny Football.
Over there we linked with Johnny Manziel, and we're trying to get a podcast launched with him called Ball Don't Lie.
Yep.
And we're kind of like halfway through production with that, so like that was really cool. And then once we were up there, our end goal is Nashville. I think Mike's in the process of buying a house there, and I think that's going to be our home base,
Dope.
Pretty permanently once we get there. But in between then, we wanted to kind of bounce around and live in some cool spots and, just kind of experience some different areas before we kind of settle down. So we did Arizona. Now we're kind of out in the mountains in this like this beautiful house, like literally in the middle of nowhere on like 100 acres, super off the grid, terrible internet, like 30 minutes from the nearest supermarket. Like it's just it's really like out here, and it's been super peaceful out here. And we're probably going to be here till the end of the month, and then I'm pretty sure we're in first week of March we're gonna be in Nashville and probably stay there for a while.
Yeah, that's super cool. I've never been even close to Montana or that Northwest region.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that. I did go to school in Missouri for a little bit. Different way. It's not Long Island. It's a different way of life. But man, I fuck with how you guys have like mob mentality. Like
how is that like living with your boys, like living with your best friends every day and just
dude, people whenever other people like come and see it, like they like they're either jealous or they don't fucking understand it, because like it's weird. I mean, when you tell people like on the surface you're like, oh, I'm 30 and I live with like 4 roommates, they're like all right, buddy, like they think it's a bad thing,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, man, like you don't get it. Like it's weird because there's just like this weird perfect harmony between it all.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Like there's never any mishaps with us. Like no one really fights. Everyone's here for a purpose. We're all working together to serve that purpose.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. The only way I can describe it is like just this perfect harmony. And when other creators or other musicians or whatever like come and see it, they're like, damn, man, like I'm jealous that you have this. They say to Mike, they're like, I'm jealous you have this.
Right.
Like you and all your boys and you're all working together. Like it's just dope that you have that. And we always joke that it's like we're like the show Entourage. And it's like it honestly, like it's pretty much that spot on,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I I would love to have that. Imagine, one day we could get to that point where
That's the goal, man.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what we're trying to do out here. Is we're kind of like trying to build out a team and
like just build an empire, just kind of with all our boys, and we're all kind of on the same goal, kind of doing different things,
Yeah.
which kind of like what you guys do. Mike, is in the music side. You're in the filmmaking and editing and producing side. And, and Blue and the whole crew, bro. It's I don't know. It's an amazing thing that I wish, we can experience that one day.
Yeah, because dude, it makes things easier. Like I don't know, like the lonely route in life is great, but like, man, we need people, and especially like professionally, like everybody.
Yeah.
Like if he wins, I win. If I win, he wins. If fucking Mike wins, you win. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's fucking.
Yeah, man. It's actually an important lesson. Another book I would strongly recommend if you haven't read it. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah,
Like
I read that book.
Yeah.
Great.
You read it? Good. There's an important chapter in there called the Mastermind. I think it's just called the Mastermind, and it's about just about empowering different people in your life to like help further serve your purpose.
Yeah.
And not in a selfish way. It's
Yeah.
like it's about just finding like-minded people who have similar values and similar. Or like not even similar skill sets. Maybe they're different skill sets,
Yeah.
but it's really like just assembling a group of people to help further serve, your end goal.
Yeah.
And Mike's been fantastic at that. I mean, he's brought on like the right people in his life to help grow our brand and our business. So you shouldn't have to, do things on your own. There's another book that talks about it too called I think it's called like Seven Habits.
Spiritual laws
like
of success. Oh, okay.
7 Habits of like successful people.
Right.
I forget the exact name of it, but
Okay.
they kind of talk about the difference of being dependent, independent, and interdependent. And a lot of people like to kind of take things in their own hands and do it themselves, and that's independence, and like that's fine, but you can just only get so far doing things on your own.
Yeah.
And the second you collaborate with the right people and become interdependent, then the sky's the limit, and you start to break through certain plateaus, and you start to see new things that you never thought were imaginable.
Right.
And it's just about assembling the right people, man. And
Right.
it's just so important to reach your goals.
Yeah, I feel like bringing people together that all bring a little bit of a different twist and different piece to the table.
Yeah, it's the most important shit, man. Like, look at the human body. Like, we're made of systems. Every system, like, serves its purpose for, like, the benefit of the greater good. So, like, you and the boys, like, have this beautiful harmony because, like, that's what you guys built. And you guys are all bringing something special to the table that, like, coexists with each other. And, like, I think in my own life, like I want to start pushing that, like, even more because I feel like even in like relationships, like love relationships, like people are so focused now on like independence. And like, don't get me wrong, like, you gotta like be independent. You gotta be your own person. You gotta have your own things going on. But at the same time, like, what if we can realize that like 2 is greater than 1 and we can come together as a unit and then look at what greatness we can get out of this thing if everyone just worked together.
Yeah. So I feel like there's not many people in the industry that do it like them.
Oh, especially in that industry, like
I feel like there's
man,
not. You
everyone
guys
has
are
a
super
fucking agenda,
unique.
dude. And everyone's looking out for numero uno. you
Yeah.
know? And I just people forget that networking is not supposed to be a selfish thing. Networking is supposed to be about giving, not receiving. So if you have that mindset and you network for the purpose of helping other people, then I mean, karma's going to help you, man, and karma's going to reward you 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like for me, when it comes to the video stuff, a lot of the better things that I've done, the better jobs that I've done, the better connections that I've made has just been from just a wanting and a knowing of like how did you start this? How are you, like, what's your process? I'm just willing to learn. And like, if there's any way that I can like maybe catalyze growth in you, or someone else, like that's the way to do it. And then in turn, like, you always get something out of it. And it's not to be selfish. It's just that's the way
the world works. That's just the way the universe works. I feel like the more you give, the more you receive.
Yeah, give to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you ever need another guy on set, bro, if you're ever in the New York area, bro, I'm gunning for the top. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I'd love to just eat shit and work for free.
No, dude. I mean, we're kicking around shooting the next movie in upstate New York.
Really?
So you never know. You know?
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
We were just talking about it the other day, me and the guy that I work on my films with, my partner, and probably not going to do it in the LA area. And New York City's kind of the next hub, and we have to shoot it in the woods. So I mean, upstate New York's a strong possibility.
Can you give us any like details on the plot a little bit?
Yeah, man. So like, if you haven't seen the Primrose, like it's kind of like it's a fun film, and it's a little semi-autobiographical. It's just kind of about being young, like not knowing what you want to do with your life, and the camaraderie of just like having a bunch of your boys around and like, partying and all that type of shit.
Right.
But at the same time, like the film, like it was a little boring in the sense that there was not a lot of action. It was just kind of like a lot of people sitting around talking, like walking around talking, and there's a little partying mixed in. But I wanted to make a movie that was just a little more like electric,
Yeah.
I like to consider myself a pretty electric guy, and I'm like, I just made a movie that's not that electric, so I gotta step it up.
What the fuck happened?
So I wanted to make a film. I always kind of loved Tarantino movies on how he would take like real events and put a twist on it, And he would kind of like make these fictional characters and kind of wrap them up in this story that actually happened, and whether it be like Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah,
or
I just rewatched that
Once
the other
Upon
night.
a Time in Hollywood. He's just really fucking magnificent at that, and I was like, man, I kind of want to do something similar to that, where I based it off a true story, but make these kind of like bozo characters that kind of get wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
So I've always been kind of fascinated with cults. For whatever reason.
Okay.
So I went on the internet one day and I'm like, what are the most famous cults in America? And one of them was actually from Massachusetts, like right around where I grew up. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And in the early 80s, there was a satanic cult in Massachusetts.
Beautiful.
And it was doubled as a prostitution ring. And the ringleader was like, the pimp of all the girls who would like pimp out all the girls.
Right.
And they were like these satanic, Satan worshiping prostitutes. And I was like, that is fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And they would sacrifice like some of these prostitutes like in the woods, and it ended up being like, now it's known as like the most haunted woods in America because of all the people that have died in there.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, like I want to
something.
make some like characters that are kind of based off of me and my friends, that kind of get wrapped up in this whole satanic cult, with all these like Satan worshiping prostitutes. So I mean, that's kind of what without getting too deep into it, that's pretty much what the movie's about.
I mean, it sounds interesting.
That's amazing. And I love the fact that you identified, like, you kind of broke down Tarantino and you saw like that's amazing inspiration. Like, I just heard that idea and I'm like, damn, like make a movie about something that happened, but then create like a funny spin-off.
Make
like,
your own story too.
Yeah, no, that's dope, bro. That's dope.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit for it because he's the master of it, but that's always been what drew me to his films, because I'm like, he's like changing the course of history with like the heroism of these characters he made up, and I think that's brilliant. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so that's when did you say you guys are planning on filming that?
We're in the middle of writing it right now, so
Dope.
I mean, ideally it would be great to do it, maybe this fall, like this October, but if it's not ready, it's not ready.
Yeah,
Right,
whenever
yeah.
it happens, it happens.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man, I'm excited for it, man, because like I can't even watch the first movie, The Primrose, anymore, because it's like I was just so closely attached to it, and it's like it's like disgusting to me now, because I'm like fuck, dude, like I could have done this so much better.
Yeah.
And now it just drives me to, work on the next one. So it's just kind of become like this addictive thing, which I think, ultimately that's what makes people great at something, is when they become addicted to it.
Yeah.
and get better. So I'm thankful for that.
Have
Definitely
you watched
thankful
the masterclass from Scorsese?
I took Aaron Sorkin's masterclass,
Dope.
the screenwriter, and that was definitely a huge help. I think that's fantastic that they have shit like that, where you can just just like watch the best person at that craft tell you everything that they know. Like,
Yeah.
For like, at the time when I did it, it was before it was the monthly subscription. I think it was like $90 for the class. And I'm like, $90 for like the best screenwriter of all time to tell me everything he knows about screenwriting. I'm like, that's fucking insane. At the same, I thought that was good and bad. I mean, it's the bad thing about it is like it almost made me want to like be him in a sense,
Right.
where like art, you should be yourself. It should come
Yeah.
internally. Where I think I took a little too many liberties of being like him versus
Yeah.
trying to be myself.
Yeah.
So like in a sense, they're like it was a little counterintuitive, but like at the same time, like it's just like invaluable information. Like it was super worth it.
Yeah, it's stuff that you're not gonna get, in school or from anywhere else. It's,
Yeah, like I heard Scorsese had a class, and I was like $15 a month, and then I posted that on my story, and someone was like, "Dude, like, what? Like, that's fucking expensive." I was like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" I was like, Martin fucking Scorsese.
Yeah.
I was like, I could fucking. You should see the classes I'm in. I'm in a fucking Scorsese class. I'm in a chess class. I have no interest in chess at all. I'm in an FBI interrogation class to where like I'm in the real world, like trying to spot people lying now. Like it's fucking it's amazing, man.
And I guarantee the dude that said that has a Netflix account.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's funny, and like not to knock on college because I had a great college experience, but like you start to question like what you're really getting from a college experience. Especially if you're leaving with a bunch of debt, and you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this education, quote unquote. When information these days is just it's so abundant and sometimes mostly free.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, do I want to get a film class from Martin Scorsese or do I want to get it from like some jabroni that like I've never heard of?
That doesn't give a fuck about doesn't give a fuck about anything.
That
man.
never made a movie.
Right.
That's never filmed anything. He just kind of studies it, but he's gonna tell you all that you need to know. And
that's just there working off like tenure or something. And
It's-
fucking people are in the class
man,
playing
it's
fucking
like-
doodle jump on their phone.
Bro, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary to realize who's really giving you the knowledge that or who's trying to teach you these things. Because I feel like we get trapped into this mindset as kids growing up that your teachers are going to tell you everything, or this person's going to tell you everything. And bro, that's not how life works. It's definitely not.
Yeah, I mean we're lucky these days because we just have access to just so much shit.
Right.
And like 50 years ago, like you couldn't just pop on a screen and like listen to like learn how to do something from like the top person in that craft. Like it wasn't a thing. You'd have to do some type of like mentorship where like
You'd have to go to like NYU if you wanted to get into film. You'd have to like do these certain things. So like, dude, like that's the best part about technology, man, and where we're at in 2021. But like we struggle, like we talk about it all the time. Like, yo, like is all this technology making life better or is it making life worse? Because things are.
Dude. Again, you're in the driver's seat, and it can be your best friend or your worst enemy, man. And it's literally what you feed your mind. Like that's gonna determine your outlook, how you're programmed, how you think.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, like if your Instagram's just filled with like like gossip videos of like Hollywood stars and like Instagram models and titties and this and that, like you're probably like not gonna be as happy as someone who follows like spiritual leaders and creators and artists and stuff like that. So, it's just something you have to be mindful of. And I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Right.
I got, still a couple titties in my timeline.
Love titties. The best.
I'm definitely starting to mix in some more stuff. Where I follow people like Gary Vee and Russell Brand and Jay Shetty, and you just listen to people talk about shit that matters and shit that makes you reflect and be a little more self-aware of your own life.
Yeah. I feel like for the creative process, this is what I've been feeling intuitively, and like I was like thinking about like even making like a couple of my first short films like based off of like the impact of the iPhone and the impact that social media has on our creative abilities. Because like what I found was like, bro, I just started making videos because like to feed my followers, like that was like, I would just go on After Effects and like do like a cool trendy edit and like pump it out, You know, like I would, and we talk about this, like I would put my video ideas, I would put in a microwave. Just like I would shoot a video and edit it and put it out all in the same day because I just wanted that instant validation rather than like shooting a movie and taking like 2 or 3 years and building a budget. And putting it in the oven and waiting for that shit to fucking slow cook and fucking simmer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. Hey, man, dude, it just depends what you're trying to do. You know, like if your end goal is movies, I would say get off your ass and just make a movie. Even if you have to shoot it on it, even if you have to shoot it on an iPhone. You know, like, just to give you a little inspiration. I mean, there was a movie that crushed the festivals a couple years ago that was completely shot on iPhone.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and so like it's. It doesn't really matter, what your resources are. It's just about getting off your ass and doing it. And you kind of just have to know that, the first one's probably going to suck and the second one's going to suck also, but be a little less shitty. And you're not going to get better unless you do it.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran had an awesome interview where he talked about this with music. And he talks about like a faucet where you turn it on and a bunch of like brown water starts coming out. And, you have to kind of leave that water running for a little while with that brown water before it starts to turn clear and drinkable.
Right.
So, if you don't turn that faucet on and start to get that brown water out, you're never going to get that clean water and you're never going to get better. So, as long as you understand that process and, you know that the process is going to be a learning experience and it's just going to be a stepping stone to something greater, then, that's what's going to drive you to get off your ass and just start doing it.
Yeah. To even like touch on kind of what you said earlier was you kind of got to see your shitty work or bad game. I was a basketball player. He was a football player, but just those bad moments, that you had when you were younger and you look back like, damn, like I could have done this so much better, but you wouldn't realize that if those moments didn't occur.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the biggest moments for growth. Bro. The failures, the lessons, those are the, you need those to take that next step.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
so true. Like if you think of it like, all right, before I'm an expert or like successful at this thing, I need to make 10,000 mistakes. Like if you think that way, you're like, I have to make 10,000 mistakes in order to become great at this one thing.
Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, then you can't wait to fuck up. You're like, man, I can't wait to get out there and fuck up, because like I'm getting those 10,000 mistakes out of the way.
Yeah.
And if you have that, again, if you think that way, it's like, you're not afraid to, you're not having any self-doubt. I think that's what holds most people back in trying to do anything. It's self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not good enough, or, this is going to suck, or I'm going to look like an asshole.
Yeah.
And you just have to have the courage to go out there and look like an asshole, man. I mean, that's the biggest lesson that, or the biggest thing I could ever preach.
Yeah. Yeah. I love looking like an asshole.
Yeah.
There you go. That's great.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
man.
Especially now with social media and like, everyone is under such a big magnifying glass and, everyone has eyes on you and everyone's judging and everyone's like commenting on shit.
Yeah.
And like, I think that it's just making people afraid to go out there and like try something new and like, it's making people afraid of failing because of all the judgment that's going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, I get it, man. It's scary and it makes you feel like shit, but it's, you just have to rise above it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I mean, kind of relates to that. I mean, have you guys seen the 6ix9ine documentary, Tekashi?
He has a documentary.
I haven't yet. No, is it any good?
Yeah, you guys gotta watch it. It as much as in that world he was a rat and all that stuff, but it kind of, bro, the dude did whatever it took to get famous. Like he did not care about outside opinions. He did not care about what people thought, bro. That dude was mentally, crazy. Yeah. But sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu. I would definitely recommend watching that. It kind of changed my perspective of him and just how crazy it was. Like he was doing this since 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
No one knew that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the things he was doing to grow his brand and create that reach was, bro, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously we won't do that to our extent, put tattoos on our face and stuff like that to gain attention, but we could, do stuff in that, in that same ballpark, obviously more productive for us in our field. But yeah, bro, it's crazy not caring. I feel like not caring what people think and consistency. Those are like the two biggest things.
Yeah, and just being optimistic, man. I mean, we had a really great episode on the podcast with a guy, Charlie Rocket. If you haven't seen
that's probably my favorite episode. It's probably my
Yeah,
favorite episode.
I forget the exact term, but he talks about being like
delusionally optimistic.
Yeah.
What is it?
Delusionally optimistic, he said, I'm pretty sure.
Delusionally,
Yeah.
delusionally optimistic. I mean, dude, that just hits the nail on the head, man. Like it's one thing to be cocky and like be a dickhead about it, but if you're just delusionally optimistic, like you're like that's what it takes, man. I mean, you can literally reprogram your mind into thinking that you're something that you're not yet until you become that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
For fucking sure, bro. And like, yo, I've been called recently toxic positive like more times than I can count. Like, yo, you're toxic positive, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. How's that? You know, you want me to be a dick? Fucking here we fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could do that too. You know, you fucking jerk off. But it's just like, bro, like these fucking politically correct terms and everyone like the fact that someone called me toxic positive. It's like, all right, well, good luck being somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know?
Or negative.
Good luck being
delightfully negative.
Yeah. Yeah. Delusionally negative. Enjoy that. I'll stick my fucking toxic positive ass over here by myself.
Right.
And enjoy it.
I mean, if someone's putting positivity and toxic in the same sentence, there's something seriously wrong with it.
Yeah.
Bro,
There's something that they have to
multiple
reevaluate.
people.
Yeah. They got to do some reevaluating.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, no, this was a really good episode, man. Thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, yo, I really appreciate that, man, because like
that was huge.
I know when people are kind of in the limelight, they can be, I don't know, I guess like
Hollywood, you know, and that's why another thing I wanted to kind of like applaud you and you guys is how much you give back to the fans and you know, I mean, no one does that, and I know that's the avenue you guys are trying to create, where you're creating this, you know, empire with your fan base where it's almost like a conversation. You guys can connect, you know, when you do the clubhouse talks and the only Steves and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All that shit is awesome, bro. And you know, thank you for hitting me back. And you know, this was, you know, great because
love, man.
Six months ago I started this podcast because of you guys and the YNK podcast. And now, you know what I mean, I have the guy who produces the podcast on. So it's kind of crazy for me, just, you know, the growth that I've seen and to have pretty much the inspiration behind my podcast and do an episode with you. So, yeah, thank you, bro.
Oh, of course, man. No, dude, it's a pleasure. And I hope that when we're finally in Nashville with some decent Wi-Fi, we can do an actual video version of this, you know?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be tough, bro.
I'll take a shower. I'll put a clean shirt on and we'll do the damn thing again. But, you know, I reached out on Twitter to like, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. And I just said like, you know, if you're starting a podcast, you know, hit me up and I'll be a guest. And, you know, I did that for the reason of like, one, like I know that like, you know, when we started a podcast, a lot of our fans started doing it. And I think podcasting is just such a positive thing.
Yeah.
To not only listen to them, but also make them, you know, it's therapeutic in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of gets you to talk about shit, and it gets you to like you guys, like you're friends, and I'm sure it's something that like, you know, is a bonding experience for you guys to like, you know, meet up and, you know, do a podcast together, which again, if that's the only reason you do it, that's an amazing reason to do it too. And I just like, if there's anything I can do to, you know, help you guys, you know, with your podcast, let me know, because you know, use me as a resource, and you know, I wish the best for you guys. I hope you keep doing it.
Yeah. No, thank you, bro, because I was a huge, you know, Mike Stud fan back when he first started rapping and stuff like that, and then I kind of you know, veered away from it for a while, and then me and him were, you know, best of friends kind of back then, and then we veered away from each other. So that episode that he sent me with Mod Sud kind of brought us back, and it was just kind of crazy how everything came full circle, you know, and then especially, you know, today having you on. So
yeah, man, love, awesome, bro. Really appreciate it. And yo, man, if you want to make that new movie a little bit less shitty than the old one, let's fucking run it, you know?
Of course, man. No, dude, I'm Long Island all day, man.
Let's
I'm
fucking
Boston
go.
all day, but dude, Long Island for fucking life, dude.
Lovely.
Awesome.
Lovely, bro.
And then if you can, DM me a picture that you want right here. We're gonna have your face glowing the whole episode, so you're right here with us.
All right, I'll send you a couple options.
All right,
Okay.
cool. Yeah, thank you, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
I
man. All the
appreciate
best, bro. Have a great day.
Yep.
it. All right, see you, bro.
All right.